Good morning, guys. We are in day 84, Numbers 34 through 36, and Psalm 84 in our Bible reading plan. We are finishing the book of Numbers. We're 7 books into our reading plan. That's 10% of the Bible, and that is a huge deal. So take some time and rejoice in that today. We started the book of Numbers with a census of the people, and we finish with an allotment of the land, God telling everybody where they're going to end up being. And I love that repetition in chapters 34 and in 35, where God says, when you enter the land of Canaan, when you cross the Jordan. When I see in the next days and weeks how there's still a battle to be fought. So God has already promised certain things, but there's a realization of those things, and it will be something they will need to fight for. But God has set the tone. He is faithful. He loves them. He's constant. His love is unwavering. All they have to do is trust him. And so some couple of other things that popped up in the reading today. First of all, there's a discussion of the cities of refuge. That's where people who inadvertently committed murder would have a place to stay. In fact, every tribe gave a piece of their land, a small piece of their land, for the Levites to accommodate for the clan that didn't have a specific promised piece of land. And so God even took care of the Levites in that setting. Remember that God was their portion. So they get kind of the better of both worlds. But then they also have this area called the cities of refuge. And when people would inadvertently commit a crime, the next of kin or relative of the person who was murdered had the right to seek revenge and kill that person, unless they hid in the city of refuge. And eventually, the only way that that person would be able to leave the city of refuge, if they wanted safety, was that the high priest would have to die. And the reminder in that is that there's always the necessity of death to atone for sin. And so just a little comment of the cities of refuge. Here's something I really like too in Numbers 36. When we go back to the daughters of Zelophehad, remember just these 5 daughters who had approached God and through Moses because of a situation that they hadn't accounted for. They didn't have any men in their family to inherit the land, and they wanted a piece of this promise that God has given. God had honored that, and now again we see God revisit this discussion of, well, how do we keep the land within the tribe that it was allotted to? And so he puts the stipulation: you need to marry within your tribe. But what I love, when I was reading it, it stuck out. This is what the Lord commands concerning the daughters of Zelophehad: let them marry whom they think is best. I just thought that was awesome. You know, he gives them some parameters, some boundaries, and this is such a good dating rule if you're single and watching this. You know, God gives you some freedom to choose who you want to marry within the context of marrying within the family of God. If you're dating someone who's not a Christian and you're single, hey, think again. God does care who you date. God does care about the details of your life, and that is so evident even in here the end of the book of Numbers. Interesting thing with the book of Numbers too is that, again, out of the millions of people, there's these 4 or 5 daughters of Zelophehad, and God takes the effort to give them this measure of time and attention. Again, a reminder that he is in the details. Big idea for today: God's promises and blessings far exceed our realization of them, but we must not stop striving for them. God's given us so many promises. We know them, sometimes we trust them, and often we don't. But let's strive to believe God and to own that which he's promised us by faith. All right? Love you guys. Prayed for you.